Hello everybody and welcome back. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Deborah Hatswell and you're listening to BBR Investigations. Recently I shared an interview with you all with a chap called Michael, who on many of his urban explorations has encountered paranormal activity in the area I used to live and also behind my old home. I have an update on this topic as earlier this week my husband had a chat with his friend who was visiting our new home, his friends from the area where we used to live. During the chat they were discussing the paranormal work that my husband and myself do, and his friend Chris shared a couple of his experiences with us. Chris said once he was walking with some friends around the Chinese gardens at Rivington, and there's a little interview that you'll hear in a moment about him speaking about that very thing. And he said as he went down the stairs that have the little arches in, he had a shock.
So what happened again?
No, it was bad. Right, we went up river, went to them Chinese gardens, and we were reaching down, me and Julie having a smoke, and we was walking down. We walked down them little weird stairs that's got all the little arches on it. And Jay, Julie's husband, had a red jumper on. So me and Julie's walking down having a smoke and that, and I caught him in my peripheral vision. Julie's seen the same thing, so she's moved out of the way. I've moved out of the way because we knew Jay was coming down. When we turned around, Jay wasn't even stood there. And the next thing, he come walking around the corner and was like, "What the fuck?" Proper creep. Was like, "Yeah, you've just been here." Like, oh, he's hanging goosebumps all over, and that was gross.
Did you have the feeling of him coming up behind you?
Yeah, you could see it. Dead clear. Could see dead clear. Turn around like for him to move out the way. Like, man, he wasn't even there. Weird, proper weird.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah, it's angry with that. It's creeper. Proper fucking freaky up there, isn't it? Yeah.
The old garden grounds that Chris and his friends were walking in are no longer tended, and when you're in there, it's like stepping back in time. There are lots of reports that I've shared with you from this area over the years, but there are others still within families that just never shared. I would love to hear all of them. I did find some information on the gardens from a scout around on the web who said Rivington Castle has been the home to several ghosts over the decades. In the terrace gardens, locals say apparitions have been seen. Workmen also report the same thing when they're on site, and some council workers arrived early one morning and saw something terrifying, although there is no clear description of what any of these people saw. Mark asked Chris if this was his only experience with the paranormal, and he explained that Julie, who he was with that day, had her own experience in a churchyard in Winsford, Cheshire.
And that churchyard is in Winsford, Trotter, you know, on Kenyon Way. He digs graves there. And when he was digging it, the nun had come out and she said to Julie, because Julie went down with him on the day, she kept on hearing bells ringing, and she's like, "What the fuck's all these bells ringing?" And then the nun come out of the house. She's come out and she's like, "If anything weird happens in your house tonight, you need to ring this number," and give him a little card. That's freaked Julie out. Julie said to him, "What are these bells that I keep hearing?" She went, "In the olden days, people used to get buried alive, so they used to get buried with bells." She went, "It's a very haunted graveyard." Started saying all this weird shit. Julie went for a walk around and something went like that, wham, and pushed her right over. Got up screaming.
Well, if I was Julie, I would also probably have been terrified if something had pushed me over in a churchyard. And the nun is just creepy beyond belief. If you enjoy hearing personal stories and reports like these, please check out my other Patreon videos. I also do much longer videos on YouTube each week, every Saturday, 8 PM GMT. And there is always a chat box available, so you can interact or comment on the video if you wish to. You'll see lots of witnesses, investigators, and people who enjoy the same subjects as you in the chat there. Or just join in and have a listen. We also provide a weekly podcast that's available on all of your favourite sites. You can access them and more cases from our BBR investigation files. Just check out our links below.